Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, I'm Sohini. I'm a UX UI designer. Oh, I just sat down at my desk, already checked my emails and my Slack messages for today. Luckily, I don't have that many meetings this week. If you see, there's barely any meetings on my calendar because my boss is out of town this week. I'm gonna have a lot of heads down time to just work on some features. I'm currently working on revising some mock-ups I had for discounts and add-ons to services. So I'm just making some adjustments to the mock-ups based on feedback from stakeholders meeting we recently had. The meeting was a little bit confusing, I feel like, because it seemed like a lot of the people were not on the same page. We were actually ended up asking, is this even the right solution? We did not, unfortunately, have a lot of time for product discovery for this feature. We were just kind of told, hey, these are the stories, just do them. I'm still gonna just work on my mock-ups, making a few adjustments here and there. And if we do user testing and this is not the right solution, then we're just gonna have to go back to the drawing board. So I just finished work. I got back from Whole Foods. I got some chicken tortilla soup, berries, because I'm gonna make a tart for my friends tonight. And I got some sushi, crackers, and then I got 2 Ollipops. This one's my favorite, it's tropical punch. But yeah, since I finished work, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll probably take my dog to the park first, and then I'll make the lemon raspberry tart. I think it's called raspberry clafoutis. My husband is out of town for a few days for a tech conference, so yeah, I just am gonna have some girlfriends over.
Telling me that I'm working. Neither. She tells me I'm a teenager. Last week she said I was 100, so I'm
Last night was really fun. I had my friends over, we watched a movie, we watched Baby Driver. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. It's a really fun movie. So today I only have one meeting. The dev demo we have every other week. I'm about to have lunch, and I feel like if I get enough work done, I'm going to work on my development course. I'm really lucky because my work pays for Udemy courses. So right now I'm taking a front-end web development. It's HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, and there's also SQL and I think a couple other back-end languages in there too. It's a 70-hour course. So for those that never watched my very first YouTube video, or it was my second YouTube video in the life of a software engineer intern or something. I actually used to be in software development. I was an intern for about 6 months, and then I became a full-time developer. I switched into UX design. So I've been thinking about maybe getting back into development. I've been a UX UI designer for about 2 years at my current company. I thought since I have experience being a developer and being a UX designer, kind of sharing my thoughts with you if you're deciding between those two fields. What I really like about UX UI design is the creative aspect of it. It's very fun to be able to design something from scratch, find solutions to problems that users are having. I think it's really fun. It is very different, I feel like, than the courses. When you're actually at a company, you're not really working on the most glamorous and fun features or products, and you do have to make a lot of changes to your designs on stakeholder and development feedback. You have a development background, you understand more what is actually attainable in your designs for the development team. Say it's actually more limiting than I expected it to be. After stakeholder meetings or development meetings, there's so much back and forth between designs. It can be a little frustrating. Also, sometimes you design things, don't see your projects come to life. I still think it's a really fun field. What I do like about development though is you do not have to do as much public speaking. I think that's the thing that gives me the most anxiety about being a UX UI designer. Like, a lot of UX UI designers are extroverts and they're very good at public speaking, and stakeholders throw a question at them. They're really good at immediately responding. As an introvert, it takes me a second, to really reflect on the question, to actually get it into my head and then process it. One thing I really liked in development, code reviews, it was just, you just type it online, really easy. You have to do a meeting about it. I really liked how clear-cut everything was. You just have a ticket with, do this, and then you just code that. I mean, sometimes you'd get stuck on a bug for like days. So I just feel like sometimes with UX UI design, I'm like, what am I doing throughout the days? Whereas with development, it's like, you have stand up every day. You're able to mark things more. It's hard to say which one I like more because I have a very tiny team. I'm the only UX UI designer. It's not really a senior designer. There's the manager of UX design and product. It's not really the same thing. So I feel like maybe that's also why it can be a little lonely. I like collaborating with people. In programming, we always did pair coding, which was a lot of fun. Yeah, that's something I really miss. Again, that could be based on my company. I've only been a UX UI designer at one company, and then I've only been a developer at one company. So again, it's hard to fully say it. Everyone's experience is based on company size, management, team size, all that stuff can be different. Just say both are really amazing. Both have pros and cons. Definitely do have a lot more free time as a UX UI designer, which is really nice. Sometimes when you're a developer, you'd have to be on call, or sometimes you would have to be available on the weekends in case what you launch or something, you have to be available. That's not really required for a designer. Developer, for most companies, I feel like you'll make more than a UX UI designer. So that's also something I've been thinking about. Either way, taking that course will help with UX UI design. If you know how to code, can understand the limitations of your design. Having a strong foundation of CSS is really great for UX UI design. Absolutely not required, but I definitely think it is a really good thing to learn. I hope my thoughts on UX UI design and development helped a little. Yeah, there's plenty of different roles. There's also, you could be a UX UI engineer, or front end developer, web designer. There's so many different opportunities in this field. Right now, the job market is crazy. So if you are looking, I wish you the best of luck. I finished my meeting and then I took my dog to the park and went grocery shopping because we were out a couple things like dishwasher detergent. And I went to Trader Joe's, and currently this is my favorite snack from there. It's so addicting. So I'm currently working on a usability test we're planning to send out to customers about a month. Tell you guys what we use. So currently for usability testing, we use Useberry. I really like it. I've been using it for I think the past 2 years now. We looked into Maze, but there were certain things about Maze that I didn't like as much. It doesn't show the hover state, whereas Useberry does, and that's really important for our users. We have a lot of drop downs, a lot of filters, a lot of options in our drop downs. So it's helpful for users to see when they're hovering over a choice. So right now I'm in an old usability test in the results section. For each task you have, you can see what the completion rate is. You can view click tracking and their heat maps, and then the user flows, how they go through your test, and then completion rates again. And then you can also see user sessions, so you can play each one, everywhere they're clicking, where they're getting frustrated, where they're getting lost. So this is a really great tool. Currently, I have all these different tasks in my usability test, and I also have 2 preference tests and some questions. So if you just add here, you can see all the different options you have. So the ones I use the most: questions, single task. You have to have your prototype ready for this. And then I also use the preference test a lot. This is really helpful when I have a design and let's say stakeholders or the devs suggest something else. It's always great to test it, so then you have the data to back up which one users actually want. So it's really good for that. I also use card sorting, sometimes for ranking as well. And yeah, so they have all those options.